What is happening, my friends? We are... Oops. Sorry. Oh, there we go. We're back on Facebook. Hopefully we can get the YouTube thing figured out, because I was really excited about YouTube, but so far the video quality just hasn't been good enough. So back on Facebook, we'll upload this to YouTube. But here we go. This is the 49ers against the Bears. 49ers got Cam Newton. And I will say that I did look into this before tonight's start, and I did see this. Cam Newton is in bad condition. So that could make things a little more difficult for Dom. We'll see. Chris Johnson and Jamal Charles is his running backs. Those are his first and second picks in the drafts, by the way, and Newton was third. So definitely a focus on the running game. There's Doug Baldwin. Alshon Jeffrey was his top wide receiver in week 1, and there's Aaron Hernandez there. Baldwin is his guy for returning. Here's his defense. Aqib Talib was his top defensive pick. Let's see. And then if you saw in my keys to the game, Talib was his first pick, but he was taken after pretty much everybody else had a at least one defensive player taken. So defense may be questionable. We'll see. What's happening, Chad? The one nice part about Facebook is I can see you guys again. On YouTube, I wasn't able to see when you guys were on. All right. There's the offensive line, and he's got Justin Tucker and Thomas Morstead. All right. And then for Nick's Chicago Bears, he's got Aaron Rodgers, first overall pick. That's Alfred Morris, DeMarco Murray, Brandon Marshall, and actually Eric Decker led the Bears in receiving in week 1. He had 4 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. Like I said, I kind of looked into this before the video was on, kind of did a little research. Antonio Gonzalez, Eric Decker is his returner. And then defensively, here's what he's looking at. Navarro Bowman there, the linebacker, was the earliest defensive pick for Nick. So he had a couple sacks in week 1. See if he can get a couple more this week. All right, let's see. And then offensive line, he's got Goskowski and Michael Cohen are his kicker and punter. We're ready. Let's get this thing going. All right. Tucker, not a good kick. Decker past the 20. Decker gets to about the 26. Bears all black. Have to admit, I kind of like the uniforms. Marshall, big catch on the first play. Marshall to the 20. Marshall to the 15 and the 10 and the 5, and he scores! Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall was Nick's second-round pick. So that was first-round pick to second-round pick for a touchdown. Good way to start this game. You know, as I was prepping for this game, I was looking at total offensive yardage and total defensive yardage allowed, and these two were neck and neck in both categories. So I have high hopes that it's going to be a pretty competitive game. But I tell you what, after that Bears touchdown, we'll see. Jamal Charles starts off with a good run. Cam Newton was his number 1 rusher in week 1. Charles was second, and Chris Johnson was third. Here's Johnson. So for the Niners, Alshon Jeffrey is the top wide receiver, but Chris Johnson actually had more receptions than he did in week 1, and more yards, as a matter of fact. So Chris Johnson seems to be Newton's favorite target through 2 games. Oh! Dansby with a sack. Newton ran right into him. Actually, it was considered a sack, but he didn't lose any yards. 3rd and 10. Looking for Charles deep. Look at this. Oh, incomplete. Cam Newton, not the best thrower in the league. All right. And that one goes in the end zone. So the Bears take over on the 20 here. Rodgers pitched to Alfred Morris. He's got some blockers there. And he gets the first down. In the first game, the Bears did not put much of an effort into running the ball. They had 4 rushing yards all game against the computer. Alfred Morris picks up 9 on that one, and they're definitely rushing a lot better this game. Incomplete pass there, setting up a 3rd and 1. Up the middle, DeMarco Murray gets the first down. So the running game looking a lot better this week for Nick. All right, almost to midfield here. Oh, it's a pick play. And Rodgers goes down. So each team now getting a sack in the first quarter. All right, Rodgers with time. Rodgers looking for Decker. He's got it. Eric Decker, his favorite receiver, to the 25. Rodgers back to throw with time. Looking for Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez makes the catch in traffic. That was a nice catch. Just shy of the first down. 2nd and 1. All right, first play of the second quarter. Alfred Morris picks up the first down. Much more committed to the running game, the Bears, than what we saw in week 1. Oh, boy, look at that. Ryan Kerrigan blew up his blocker and made the sack. 2nd and long now. Rodgers out of the shotgun. Rodgers steps up, and Rodgers is going to run it. And he gains 3. 3rd and long here from the 20. See if they go in the end zone here. Oh, it's going to be a running play. Morris with blockers. Morris gets the first down and the touchdown. Alfred Morris looking much better this game. All right, 14-0, and the Bears in control. And Baldwin from the 9. Baldwin goes nowhere. Gets up to maybe the 18. First person to him made the tackle, so not real impressive. And Chris Johnson goes nowhere. It's going to be 2nd and 16 after the loss of 6. Newton pitches to Charles. Charles gets 1 yard there. 3rd and long. This is not where the Niners want to be because you don't want to be relying on Cam Newton's arm. But he hits Hernandez on this one. Hernandez doesn't get the first down. Gain of 12. Or 11, I think it was. So the Niners are going to have to punt again. I don't think they've gotten a first down yet. Oh, no, they did with Jamal Charles' run. So, but that one was a 3 and out, I believe. Decker gets up to the 23. So far, this game has been all Bears. Rodgers out of the shotgun. Rodgers with time. He's got a guy open deep. No, he goes short to Alfred Morris. Morris picks up a yard. Looked like 2 yards, but they're calling it a yard. All right, back to throw is Rodgers. He hits Morris again. Morris with a better game this time. Gets the first down. Pick up about 11 on that. Alfred Morris on the run. Picks up 9. I'm really impressed with the Bears today compared to that week 1 game. Another stat where the Niners and Bears were identical in week 1. Almost identical. The Bears won their week 1 game by 11, and the Niners, who played the same team, basically, the same collection of players, they won their game by 10. So really, it appeared that this game was going to be evenly matched. So far, it's been all Bears. DeMarco Murray with the first down. Time's getting to be a factor. They need to get in the end zone here, or they're probably going to end up kicking a field goal. Oh, it's a pick play. Rodgers takes the sack. Bobby Wagner. Oh, 30 seconds left. They're going to go for another play. So the Niners with 3 sacks so far in the first half. Alfred Morris gets in the end zone. Another touchdown for Alfred Morris, who's having a big game today. 20-0. The Bears. Of all of week 2, we have not seen a game this dominant yet. It's definitely speaking volumes about Nick's team here. All right, let's take a look at the halftime stats. And as expected, Bears are dominating the stats, every category. Alfred Morris has gone for 50 yards. He's on pace for 100. That's pretty impressive. And Aaron Rodgers is on pace for 350 yards passing. So everything's going right for Chicago. 87% completion for Rodgers. They're looking really good. All right, let's see if it's going to be a tale of two halves here. Well, the Niners are going to start with the ball. That's a good sign. Yeah, I hear you, Dom. I was thinking the same thing, but, I don't know. You got to get your offense going, though, too. A lot of these games are a tale of two halves, so let's see if things are different this half. And you're looking for getting Charles there. First down. Charles has probably been the MVP of the Niners so far today. And Chris Johnson with some nice moves. Wow. They called that a first down. I thought it was a gain of 9. All right. Newton out of the shotgun. Niners are having their best drive of the day. Incomplete on that one. 2nd and 10. Newton missed his target there. Now, going to be a pitch to Charles. Charles changes direction. Oh, look at the nifty moves by Jamal Charles. First down and more, all the way to the 21. 49ers are looking really good on this drive. Newton back to throw. There's a lot of coverage there. Ah, incomplete. Threw it to the guy that was covered. Newton, it's a pick play. Newton gets rid of it. Looking for Charles. Oh, it's an interception in the end zone. So after that impressive drive, results in a turnover in the end zone. That's a bummer. Sorry, Dom. And, oh, what a catch by Tony Gonzalez. Wow, that is the difference between Cam Newton throwing the ball and Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. Oh, it's a pick play. Rodgers takes the sack. Bobby Wagner's having a big day. That's sack number 3, I think, for Wagner. 3 or 4. Rodgers looking for Decker. There's his man. Decker with the first down. Gets to about the 24. Rodgers back to throw. He's got time. Looking for Decker. Oh, nice break up there by the defensive back. 2nd and 10. Looking to give it to Morris here. Oh, much better defense on that one. 3rd and 10. Morris doesn't gain a yard. Back to throw again is Rodgers. There's a lot of coverage there. Incomplete pass intended for Morris. So the 49ers, this is the best effort from the defense, holding them to a field goal attempt. And it's good. So the Bears' drive so far are touchdown, 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 field goal. All right. 49ers in a big hole here. They really need to get something going. The problem is, I feel like with Newton at the helm, I feel like this team isn't a team built for big comebacks, you know? They're a team that is more into like grinding out a victory, you know, low scoring, you know, ball control kind of game. Oh, it goes deep. The guy was open, but it was incomplete. Third and 10 here. Newton. All right, this could be Chris Johnson here. All right, fourth quarter, they've got to go for it. 4th and 6. Oh, it's a pick play. That is not what they needed. All right, so Bears on a short field here. Looking to continue the abuse. Complete to Decker, first down. Decker's looking like a monster. The team is on a roll. Aaron Rodgers has been surgical. Alfred Morris just got his 3rd touchdown. They are looking strong this game. And the field goal, or the extra point, I mean, is good. 31-0. This was highly unexpected. I feel like every time I try and predict something, I'm way off. I predicted this was going to be a close game, and it's been a blowout. Newton goes nowhere. 2nd and 11. Could be a skunk, Chad. Yeah, we'll have to see. Here's Jamal Charles. Charles making some moves. Charles, the MVP of the Niners today. You know, Chris Johnson was his first pick. But Charles, as he had more rushing yards than Johnson the first week, and he's definitely been the best player on the Niners today. So Chris Johnson just right now looking like a bad first pick. All right, back to throw. Newton with time. Looking for Baldwin in the end zone. Oh, broken up. 3rd and 11. 2.5 minutes to go now. Oh, it's a fumble. Oh, luckily Chris Johnson recovers, but now it's 4th and long. They're going to try for the field goal here. Trying to not get skunked, as Chad mentioned. And it's up, and it's good. All right, so Justin Tucker gets the Niners some points. They're actually waving the white flag here. There wasn't even an onside kick. So apparently they're acknowledging that they're not going to win this game. Rodgers to Morris on the pitch. Morris gets back to the line of scrimmage. Once again, I thought that was a gain of 1, but my eyes are old, I guess. Looks like a gain of 1. Look where the ball is. All right, here comes the blitz. Pick play. Oh, he gets it to Gonzalez again. Woo! This Bears team is looking really good. Aaron Rodgers is having a monster game. Rodgers was he was mid-pack in quarterback rating after week 1. He has elevated himself this game. It's going to be near the top. Rodgers to midfield right now is where they're at. And that was a pick play. Morris loses 3. Under a minute to go in the game now. As I've mentioned previously, this drive is important too. You know, it's it could come down to a tiebreaker for playoff seeding at the end of the year, and it's all about points and points against. So Morris with the first down there. The drive continues. 25 seconds to go. Are they going to get in the end zone for one last time? Rodgers throws to Marshall. This would be a touchdown if he catches it. Oh, look at that. In coverage. That was reminiscent of the Calvin Johnson touchdown yesterday when he was covered in the back of the end zone. So, pretty impressive display from Nick. Last play of the game right here. Dom is not going to be happy about this one. Probably a confidence-shattering game for Dom. All right, let's see here. Look at the stats. Wow, the running game actually ended up pretty close between the two teams. And actually, if you look right here, looks like San Francisco probably won the yards per attempt, but passing was the key to the game. Aaron Rodgers, 80% completions, 318 yards passing. Just a dominant performance. I don't know where Aqib Talib was in this game, but that San Francisco 49ers secondary got torched. Brandon Marshall, 2 for 104 yards. I know Decker had quite a few of his completions and yardage as well. But it was a nice game for the Bears. If you're a 49ers person, not as good. Okay. We are going to take a quick look at the remaining schedule. Tomorrow, it's going to be the Browns against the Texans. Texans are the team that lost week 1. So they got a lot of making up to do. So Cleveland, I'm going to have to say, is going to be favored in that game, but Houston really needs that win. All right, that is it for today. We will see you tomorrow. That game, I'm going to be in Phoenix tomorrow away from home, but I plan on still doing that game probably from Phoenix. Chad, maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can figure something out. I'm going to be in North Phoenix, so I don't know if we can meet up somewhere, but anyway, we will catch y'all later. Thanks for watching. Bye.